Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. How you doing? Anyway, let me stop playing. I this past weekend I saw some movies and I saw Elvis. Now, let me tell you, it came on HBO and I just want to give a recognition, first of all, for the cinematography. I hope I'm saying the word right. Cinematography. Miss Mandy Walker, I had to look her name up, because it was awesome. It was so awesome. Like, I really, like, I really felt Elvis. I really felt like he was a superstar. When the movie came on, I really felt like we were going to watch a show. Like we were going to get a concert. Pretty much. Like I really felt that from each scene that he did, like he sang in. Oh my God, it was just impeccable. Like it was just wonderful. I enjoyed the whole movie. That I watched it twice. And um me growing up, my dad, he was older. So, and Elvis was his time that he grew up when he was a younger guy. So, me growing up, I heard about Elvis and everybody else would always talk about Elvis and everything like that. But in this movie was elegantly made, and it was a movie where first of all, I love biopics. That's one of my favorite type of movies. I love to watch them. I love them. And I love to make sure that they get the time period right, the hair right, the people, the voices. This movie was on point. Now, I don't know the detail because I ain't grow up back then. So if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I know from my view, from what I saw, I enjoyed it. And a lot of the stuff, what I did was I went on YouTube to find like maybe some of the original videos and things of that nature. Now, that Austin Butler, let me tell you something. When it goes to having a main character, when you have someone that's playing, especially someone who's passed and we don't know him or we didn't get to experience in our life, while we were growing up or whatever, that Austin Butler had it, baby. He is handsome. He is handsome alone. And him playing Elvis, oh, they got it right. They got it right. And I saw some interviews with him. I think he rehearsed for like 5 months or 2 years. Whatever it was a long time, but it was well worth it. I mean, the voice is down packed, and like I said, they this seems like they really got permission from the family, and they wanted to make sure that Elvis was put into not a, well, look, the truth is the truth. You don't want to be put in no bad light, but hey, if that's the life you live, that's the life you live. But they wanted to tell a story. They wanted to tell his story, and that version of the story is fine. It was more entertaining to me. It was like learning about someone and being, entertained at the same time by, it was an experience, and it came from the view of his, I believe that was his manager, Colonel Tom Parker. I enjoyed the view that it came from that view. I mean, he did what a lot of those, music people did in the industry. Now they cheated their artists. It actually, but the real gutter of it, they showed Elvis and how he grew up, and he grew up. I think his dad went to jail, and they end up growing up in a black neighborhood, and that's how he got acquainted with the rhythm and blues, and that type of music, and being in the church and being around it, you get influenced by it. Hell, music is music. It sound good. But those were his influences, and it had showed basically it really showed how he got his start. That was very interesting, how he got his start, and how he was a shy guy, and he had some friends. There were some. Oh, it also showed that they stayed in the projects. He was white, but he stayed in the projects. He was poor, His friend was BB King, you know, and I saw an interview with BB King, and BB King just said that, Elvis at that time, he had it. He had it all. Some people just have that charisma about them. Something that just attracts you to them. And that's what Elvis had. He could sing, dance. He had it all. So, you know, that's just how that went. But something is fucking flying and fuck shit. Anyway, so he just, I don't know what that is. So he had it all, And Elvis, one thing about it was he was trying to get his mama out of poverty. He said, "Mama, you're not gonna ever have to want for nothing. You hear me? Nothing, no more." And he meant that about his mom. And he meant that about his mom. So, we got to see Graceland come up from the beginning. His dad was I forgot what his dad was some type of manager too. I can't think of it, but his dad was one of his business managers or something. His mom died when he was like 23. He was enlisted into the army. Like, this is stuff we already knew. He was enlisted to the army. They didn't like the way he danced. They said he danced like black folk. But them the only folk he knew and them the only folk he hung around. But that's what they said. Hound Dog. Big Mama Thornton. That was Big Mama Thornton's song. Big Mama Thornton got $500 for that song. Back in them days, you was living from day to day. And you got what you could get. Back then, somebody handed her $500. She was like, "What? I don't give a damn. Give it to me." Nobody knew though that they didn't know about royalties and residuals and things of that nature. They just trying to put some food on the table for their children. And you telling me because I know how to sing out of my mouth, you're gonna give me some money? Come on with it. But I believe what my daddy told me that she said was. They say, "How you feel about, Elvis, making so much about so many millions or whatever about your song?" She said, "Well, one thing about it is I'm still here and he ain't." I think that's what happened. I don't know. My daddy, I don't know. Yeah, so they did give her props. They play her song in the movie. Let me see. Little Richard, he did a cameo in the movie. Let them know that who the real king of rock and roll is, baby. I mean, the real king of rock and roll or R&B or whatever it is. I didn't mean to do that. Tom Hanks, he did a good job. I can see him getting an Oscar for this. This was in the movies. Yeah, they put it in the movies and it was on HBO. I can see Tom Hanks getting an Oscar for this. I didn't even know it was him. Like, for a minute, I was like, okay, where's Tom Hanks at? And that was him. He did an awesome job. The movie is going to get nominated for Academy Awards. I can guarantee you for that cinematography, the storytelling, the storyline. Like, even though we know some of the stuff, they didn't touch on him and his affairs. They didn't touch too much on his relationship. They lied about the ages of Priscilla and him when they met. A lot of stuff they didn't touch on. And when they didn't show him, they did show him in his last performance. They did it with style. Where he had, gained weight and everything. And they touched on some important stuff. What I didn't know was, I didn't know that he didn't travel outside the United States. As big as Elvis is, I never knew that. Damn it, I never, ever knew that. Interesting. I mean, he had a plane and everything. So, but they didn't want him to travel outside. And his manager was lying to him, talking about security. Like, man, we got security. You know, sometimes people have their own agenda set for you as well, so you have to watch out for that. But other than that, I enjoyed the movie. It was so good. I'll watch it again. It was nice, and I love the way how they incorporated him. You know, growing up, you know, in a black neighborhood, and you know, I don't know if he was racist, but you know, it's some black people that talk about black people. So I can't tell you if he was. I wasn't living back then. I don't know. But what I do know is he did grow up around black people. That was, you could see that through his singing. So if he can't give nothing else, he have to give them their props. You know, some people just gonna portray you as being a certain thing because they hating on you. You know what I'm saying? They just simple pure hate. You know, and so I enjoyed it. Once again, that cinematography was very perfect. Mandy Walker, you did a wonderful job. So y'all tell me what y'all like, comment, subscribe. Bye.